What's going on, Axrora Alliance? Welcome back to a brand new Star Wars gaming related video, and today we're going to be talking about Visceral Games' new Star Wars game. During Star Wars Celebration 2016, creative director Amy Hennig took to the stage to discuss Visceral Games' upcoming Star Wars action-adventure game. While she didn't reveal any concrete details about the game, which is being kept under wraps at Electronic Arts, Hennig did describe the process of making the game. She also brought some concept art for the game, which you can see coming on screen now. When discussing the writing, Hennig said that she was focused on catching the humour and buoyancy of a Star Wars tale in the game's script. She also wants to make sure the story has stakes. Hennig said it means getting the tone right. It's what my writing partner Todd calls breezy urgency. It's the idea that there's sort of a swashbuckling charm to the thing. There's humour and buoyancy, but at the same time there's stakes and jeopardy. Hennig then went on to discuss the creative process behind the untitled Star Wars game. The reason we're collaborating with Lucasfilm so closely is we're writing an original Star Wars story with new characters, locations, tech, creatures, and everything else. All of it has to sit authentically alongside the stuff people know now. The process that I've been using is really similar to what I did with Uncharted. If you're trying to recreate that classic, in Uncharted's case, pulp action adventure experience, you need to deconstruct the films so you know how to reconstruct them in an interactive context as a gameplay. The end goal is by the time the player has finished playing, they feel like they really did play a Star Wars film. So I've done the same thing for Star Wars. What does this mean? It's getting the structure right. It means you have to understand where the act breaks fall, where all of the obstacles and reversals fall, and the set pieces. You need to know what are all the component parts that make up a Star Wars story. She also teased that the game could have an ensemble cast, keeping with the Star Wars story tradition. What I was really eager to discover is what distinguished Star Wars films from the others I'd been studying in the action-adventure genre. The first thing that jumped out was these are always ensemble stories. People would say there's other characters in something like Indiana Jones, but they're side characters. In Star Wars, they're co-protagonists. So if you think about the original trilogy, it's as much Leia's, Han's, and Vader's story as well as Luke's. Think about Star Wars Rebels. That tradition continues now. Think about Rogue One, it's the same thing. And the same thing is true of our game. Part of our deconstruction is to figure out how we enable that in the story and honour it in the gameplay as well. It's not a lone wolf story because that's not Star Wars. Your characters have to be a coordinated ensemble, acting in the moment and in parallel. If you think about the film and the Death Star, they only escape because everybody does their part in parallel. Characters are always outnumbered and outgunned, so they have to be smarter than their enemies, more improvisational, and work together. The challenge for us is to figure out how we enable that in gameplay so that the player really feels that experience, so that it's not just part of the story, but also the gameplay. That's why you deconstruct and reconstruct. The mystery game has been the subject of much speculation. Since Hennig's hiring after her departure from Naughty Dog, it's been speculated that Visceral's game would follow in the tradition of third-person action-adventure games such as Uncharted. Some rumours suggest that the game might be open world. Nothing concrete has yet been shared about the game though. EA showed a few seconds of footage from the game during its EA Play presentation at E3 2016. The footage wasn't exceptionally revealing, but it did tease that the game would take place during the era of the Empire. Let me know down in the comment section below if you are excited for this game to come out. I know it's a long way away, but I do think that this could be one of the best Star Wars games to come out as an action-adventure game. Smash a like on this video if you have enjoyed it, and if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to join the Axrora Alliance and be kept up to date with all things Star Wars. Other than that, may the Force be with you.